Hey guys! In today's video, we'll be going over 10 of the rarest cars that you can obtain and put in your garage to create the rarest garage in the game. I will however not be including glitched or modded cars, only the rare ones that can be obtained legitimately in the game. But without further ado, let's get started. For the first vehicle, we of course will be getting the rare Mariachi Tornado. It is a unique rusty convertible version of the D-Class Tornado that can be found near the Rarest camp in Blaine County, as an Easter egg reference to the movie Thelma and Louise. It comes equipped with sombreros and guitars on the back seats, as well as a Mexican flag and a sticker. Now how to get it can be a little bit difficult, but as long as you do the following steps, it shouldn't be that hard. First off, you need to come to this exact location right next to Rarest camp. I'd recommend getting here on your Prism Mark II for reasons I'll be discussing later. Now the Mariachi Tornado is actually going to be spawning over there, but for it to trigger, we have to stay at this location. Then make sure that the in-game time is around 1800. Face away from the location that will spawn in, and when the clock turns 1902, turn around and the car should have spawned in. Now if the car hasn't spawned yet, then get in your prism and fly away from the location, and then quickly return. After a few tries, the car should spawn, then you quickly have to take out the driver of the car before she drives off the cliff and explodes. If the car spawns when the clock hits 1900, then just snipe the driver, and if you're on the oppressor, then quickly park in front of the car and take off the driver with either a shotgun or an AR. You then have to escape the cops and carefully manage your way down the mountain. But just call Lester to get rid of the cops and you should easily be able to get down to the road without any problems. Now all you have to do is go to the nearest LS Customs and put on a tracker and full coverage. You cannot customize or upgrade the car in LS Customs, but if you take it to an MOC or an Avenger, then you for some reason are able to. But for now, this is the first of the 10 rarest vehicles. Next up we have the rare Romero hearse with a coffin in the back. To get this car, you need to own a hearse in the first place or have a friend that owns one. However, if you do not already own a hearse, then you need to follow these steps. You need to start up the casino heist and progress until you reach this planning board. Then go down to security passes and start the security pass 2 prep mission. You then need to trigger the mission that tells you to go to Hill Valley Church. This might take you a couple of tries, but just keep exiting and restarting the prep mission until you get it. Once you get the correct mission, then go to the church and steal the Romero hearse. Now since you are in a prep mission, you are unable to store vehicles in your garages or take them to LS Customs. Therefore you cannot yet store the hearses that spawn around the mission variants, but we will get them later. Just steal the mission hearse, lose the cops and go to the LS County corners. Find the valet's body, search it and then exit the building. You now have to lose the cops, but make sure you escape in the mission hearse. This way we will still possess the hearse when the mission is over and we are now able to spawn in the rare hearse. Simply drive back to the church again and the hearse should immediately spawn with the coffin in the back. Then take it to LS Customs, put on full coverage and then put in your garage. And with that, we now have our second rare vehicle of the video. For the third vehicle, we will be getting the rare bodiless Doom Buggy. To spawn this car, you will have to go to Bolito Bay and start off the mission called Chopper Tail. When the mission has started, then enter your car and drive down this dirt road. A Doom Buggy should spawn at this location, and I actually got very lucky during this mission and got the car on my very first attempt. If you do not get the rare Doom Buggy, then don't worry. Just bring the Doom Buggy that you found into your garage and save it. Then quit your job and go back up to Bolito Bay and call in your Doom Buggy. Now in free mode, every time you drive this Doom Buggy along this dirt road, the rare variant should spawn in. Then simply hop in the rare Doom Buggy and take it down to the nearest LS Customs to claim it. Drive it into your garage, and there we go! We now have 3 rare vehicles stored in our garage. For the next vehicle, we will be getting the Stratum. If you didn't know already, the Stratum is a car that has some very special customizations. It is not that the customizations themselves are special, but instead because you cannot put them on yourself. You therefore have to find the car in the street, see if it has the right customizations, and then decide whether or not you want to keep it. The Stratum comes with many different customizations, and therefore many different variants. 9 or 10 months ago, there was a method to get all the customizations at the same time for the Stratum, but that has unfortunately been patched. You can however still find the Stratum on the street with certain customizations, so I'll be getting the version with the most. I found a post from Prep Kills that shows all the different versions that you can find. Some of them are from finding the car in the streets, and others from buying the car. Unfortunately, the Stratum was one of the many cars that Rockstar removed from the websites, so only the ones that can be found in the streets are left to be obtained. The one I will be getting is number 12, with the open sunroof, twin turbo, a spoiler, and with the phone holder and air freshener. The best way I found this car to spawn at was at the casino parking lot. Just switch sessions until they start spawning, and then go up and down the road to refresh the cars until you get the version you want. I did this for a while, but eventually found the one I was looking for. Also, if you try to buy the fully customized version or sell the ones you found to others through the LS Car Meet, they will be bought without the customizations and become the stock version. But with that, we have now secured our 4th rare vehicle. Next up we have the rare Go-Go Monkey Ballista. This is a vehicle that is locked behind progression. You need to reach skill rank 20 in the arena wars. This is a very difficult task, and it requires you to have 190 more wins than losses in a row. The The easiest way to reach this insanely difficult level is to get a friend and have them let you win 190 matches in a row. You can check your arena skill level in your Arena War office, where you can also check out your other stats. I did this many years ago on my old account, and it took me forever to reach this level. When reaching skill level 20, you will however unlock the Go-Go Monkey Ballista as a purchasable car on the Southern San Andreas Super Autos, where you can buy it for free. There is however a much easier and simpler way to obtain this car, and that is of course through the LS car meet. If you have a friend who already has this car, they can simply just sell it to you. In this case, I just messaged a couple of random high-level players if they had the car, and eventually one of them did. I then asked him if I could have it, and he sold it to me in the car meet. And after driving it into my garage, we're now halfway to getting all the rare cars. For the 6th vehicle, we'll be getting the rare Speedo van. We'll take a look at this car. Nothing really seems out of the ordinary. So what makes this car rare and special? There's a little bit of trash in the back. Yep, that's it. Normally this van doesn't spawn with anything in the back, but this one spawns with some trash. So to get this car, just come to this location and move up or down the road until it spawns like it does right here. This only took me a couple of minutes to spawn, but nevertheless it is still a rare vehicle. So with that we now have 6 rare vehicles. For the next vehicle, we'll be getting a car that is normally unobtainable throughout the most of the year. And that is of course one of the limited time event cars. This being the Albany Frankenstein, the LCC Sanctus, the Albany Lurcher and the Western Serene. Out of all of these, I picked the Frankenstein, since I think this is the coolest one of them all. And it's the only one that I already own on this account. If you want to get it or any of the other event vehicles, then you'll either have to wait for them to reappear or to buy them from one of your friends. They're only purchasable throughout Halloween or during the Independence Day week. But with that said, we've now gathered our 7th vehicle. Next up we have a car that you've most likely seen before, either doing missions or if you pissed off some players doing free mode. That is of course the Merryweather Mesa. This car only spawns during missions or if a Merryweather squad is sent out to kill someone. The easiest way to obtain this car is by either calling mercenaries at your friend or for someone to call them at you. I called it on a random player in a public lobby and then followed him until they appeared. He jumped in my car to protect himself and I helped him take them out. After killing them, the vehicle will be left to steal and the car comes in 2 variants. There's the one with the full hard top and the other one with the roof panels removed. I personally like the one without the roof, so I just waited for it to spawn and then I went to claim it. And with that, we've gotten our 8th rare vehicle. For our 9th vehicle, we'll be getting the rare Blazer Lifeguard. This vehicle can be spawned on the beach, but just like the hearse, it requires you to own the Blazer Lifeguard to spawn it in. Luckily, there's one mission that allows you to obtain this vehicle, the cargo ship robbery. This is one of the salvage yard robbery heists that comes as a weekly cycle of 3 vehicle-based heists. If you're lucky, this robbery heist will be available in the salvage yard, but if not, you'll have to wait until next week, where the missions refresh and you might have a chance of it appearing. When starting up this heist, the only thing that you will have to pay attention to is the flares task. This task can be found at the beach south from the mask store. When reaching this location, contact Jamal to begin the mission and then find the flares. The lifeguard crew will get mad at you for stealing their flares, and they will start chasing you in their lifeguard vehicles. One of these vehicles will of course be the Blazer Lifeguard that we are looking for. This Blazer is however a mission variant and cannot be stored, so you have to spawn in a new one. Just drive around the beach and new ones to spawn at one of the lifeguard posts. Steal the new Blazer Lifeguard and deliver the flares to complete the mission. When delivering the flares, make sure to deliver them while sitting on the Blazer Lifeguard, otherwise it will despawn when entering the salvage yard. If done correctly, it should be parked right outside of the salvage yard, and you can then simply bring it to LS Customs and put on full coverage. And with that, we have now collected 9 out of 10 of the rarest vehicles. Now for the last vehicle, I of course want to get the rarest one of them all. The card has a 1 out of 20,000 chance of being obtained with a 24 hours cooldown in between tries, a 0.005% chance of getting it every single day that will take you almost 55 years to obtain legit. I'm of course talking about the Lost Slayman. Now of course I'm not gonna try to get it like Rockstar intended by spinning the wheel for 55 years straight. I instead thought of getting it through the LS car meet. So find a guy who owned it, and it is not possible to obtain through other players. It's of course still possible to get through glitches and other methods, but we will not be covering those in this video, since that will be categorized as a not legitimate way of obtaining this car. So I instead decided to go after a different extremely rare car, the Rarest Green Tornado. For those of you who haven't heard of this car before, the thing that makes it extremely rare is its color. A worn Rarest green color that gives the paint a dull, faded and aged appearance, contrasting with the standard shiny metallic or classic finishes. The only way to obtain these colors are by finding them on rusty cars, with the Rarest green being the rarest. It can be found in Sandy Shores during the Rockstar created mission called Chopper Tail, and you'll need to drive around in a rusty tornado as well to give it the best chances of spawning. If you do not have one, then just drive to this location. This is where the rare one will eventually spawn, but for now, just pick up one of the park tornadoes and use it to spawn the rare version. Then keep driving up or down this road until it eventually spawns. I read that it has a 2% chance of spawning, but I literally did this for multiple hours without luck. There is, however, a much easier and quicker way to obtain this car, but it requires a friend. Invite your friend to the mission and tell him to stay at the Sandy Shores airport while you do the work. In my case, I just asked a random person if he wanted to get a rare car, and he agreed to help me spawn it. Then drive to the location where the tornadoes spawn, pick one of them up, drive back to your friend and then park it next to him. This will prevent the same variant to spawn again, since the game detects that it is already nearby, and will therefore spawn the other versions. Your friend's job is to stay at that location and keep watching the tornadoes to prevent them from despawning, and thereby eventually forcing the game to spawn in the rare tornado. There are many different colors of the Rusty tornado, and you can pick whichever one you like, but for me, I will of course be going for the rarest color, being the Seawatch green. It luckily spawned after only 2 versions had been stacked at the airport, which took only a couple of minutes to gather, and from there, I simply drove it into my garage to save it. Now, just like the Doom buggy from earlier, either complete or exit the mission, and when entering free mode, make sure to put full coverage on it. I then of course sold the car to the guy who helped me get the tornado at Dylan's car meet, so that he could also obtain it. But with that, we have now completed one of the rarest possible garages in the entire game. We have gathered everything from event cars to mission lock variants, and gathered extremely rare vehicles that only spawn in certain locations and with certain conditions. We even got a rare progression locked vehicle and a car with an extremely rare unobtainable color. Making this video was extremely fun to do, and it really shows how much detail that goes into the game to obtain these vehicles. Some of them that you would normally never pay attention to, but when knowing the actual methods to get them, it completely changes the way you look at them. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments which rare vehicles that you will be getting, or if I missed any. Also, if this video taught you anything new, then make sure to like and subscribe. It would help out the channel a lot, and I would greatly appreciate it. But for now, this is all I have for you. Bye.